Well, it took us 6 years to get the record label to release the Unmistakable album. So by the time they were ready to release it, we had 24 songs, and you can't release a 24-sided record. So I decided, let's break it up into 3 albums. So you get 8 songs on 3 different records, and we release it throughout the course of the year. And one album came out in April, one comes out at the end of the summer, and one comes out at the end of the year. So it's music all year long, so that the fans at least get everything we worked on for the last 6 years, instead of, okay, here's a 10-sided record and 14 sides you'll never hear. They tried to theme them. The albums have new songs on them, and then they also have like 2 songs that that are live acoustic versions. So the first album is called Love. You don't know any of the songs from that record, but you do know Stand Beside Me and Because You Love Me. Those are also on there, the acoustic live version. On the second album, it's called, Drive, which is the sassy attitude, Less Than Leaving's on there, and I think I'm Alright's on there. But the second album is all like attitude and the kiss off songs and whatever. And then the last album, the Inspiration album, is pretty much inspiration songs like Bring On the Rain is on that record. An acoustic version of that. So it's all in that vein. It's not necessarily religious stuff, but it's like that stuff that will pick you up and, make you feel better. With this record, I worked with a lot of producers that I admired, so it was really fun for me. It was like going to the carnival. You get to ride the roller coaster, and you get to ride the Ferris wheel, and you get to ride the rock and roll, and you get to ride the, the twister and the whatever. I really don't know what rides are at the amusement park anymore, but you know what I'm saying. There's a lot of different ones. The flume. So it was fun, just to get to experience the way different people, work and the way that they do it. It's like, it's like playing basketball with a basketball player or working out with a basketball player and working out with a baseball player and working out with a golfer. They all work out, but they work out differently.
Yeah.
But they all get the same result. We had a day off on the road. We were going through Western Canada. We stopped in the Canadian Rockies. And man, my son was 6 months old. It's July, like the middle of July. So I'm walking around in jeans and, shorts and a tank top, and there's snow on top of this mountain that's right there. And I was like, golly, Noah, look, that's God right there, man. Just the vastness, this lake that was so crystal blue. It was like turquoise, but it was formed from the runoff of the mountain. So it wasn't like, in the Bahamas when you see water like that, and it's the heat and the this and the that and the coral reefs, and it's freezing cold, and it's runoff from the mountains. And so there's just more than my mind could register at that moment. And then I was like, Noah, that's God right there, buddy. And like, once you see something that beautiful, that's God. I've always written. I don't necessarily, there's a couple songs obviously that I wrote for him or about him, but life itself usually inspires my writing. It's just my writing's getting better, so you're hearing more of it. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole bunch of stuff in a shoebox somewhere that should stay there. The actual writing process can take weeks or minutes. I got up on Mother's Day, I wrote these 3 songs, and I was like, yeah, I am on a roll. They're totally different grooves. They weren't really country-based, I've been listening to a lot of Skillet lately. So, needless to say, they're a little metal-sounding. I'm like, now I'm looking for a musician to go in and do the demo, because I'm like, it's so foreign than what we're playing up here. So it's like, I'm looking for someone who can do that down, wow! Skillet. I don't know if you guys know Skillet, but okay. But anyway, so it all depends on the song. It took me 5 minutes to write that song. It's a song called Greed, and it took me 5 minutes to write it. It was just so great, and I haven't found anybody to be able to do the demo yet. I can sing it, but I gotta find the musicians. I called a friend of mine in the Christian industry. I was like, do you know anybody that knows Firefight or Skillet? And she's like, I actually know both of those people, people in both of those groups. And I was like, can I have a guitar player from there? I need one. I'm like, I think I need their help. If you look at it from a business standpoint, it's slaughtered a lot of the record industry. There's this, if you go up down 16th and 17th Avenue, every one of those buildings was filled with music publishers, record companies, all this stuff, and now half of them have closed down. It's really sad, and there used to be 20 different record labels, and now there's like 4 or 5. So, in that sense, because people are getting music for free, there's nothing that's generating income for this business. So there's that, which is really, it's kind of a bummer. But then there's also the marketing side. There's a whole new way to get out there. You know, people aren't buying newspapers anymore, so we need to go hit, you know, certain social sites and that kind of stuff. So
It's the instant gratification that you get from it.
yeah, and I think, you know, with the internet, if you don't have a record deal, it's an amazing way to get your stuff out there, aka Justin Bieber.
I was about to say that.
I mean, come on, that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
And it was all done, it was very grassroots, it was very organic, it just kind of happened. For me, it's like I just am who I am, so I'm like, well, I am the way I've always been. It's just, I guess you're right, they get a different way to look at you and see you, I guess, more as a person versus a thing. You know, we always used to talk about the Coke can. Every artist is a Coke can. And you want to sell it. What's going to sell it? How's it going to look? What's it going to taste like? Where are you going to place it? You know, what's it going to do for you? And so that was the deal. And this way, it's more of a personal thing. I really like her. She's funny. I don't like her. She's a not so funny person. You know what I mean? Or whatever. I mean, so it's based on the actual person and not a persona. Oh, that was good. That was good. I would clip that. I would use it as a preview. Go to jodeemessina.com. You get hooked up with Facebook, my Twitter, my regular, my podcast, all that stuff. So I mean, that pretty much keeps you connected to anything. If you want to see me on video, you can check out my podcasts on Tuesday and Thursday, 8 Central.